Hello, Aries, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 20th through April 26th. And during that time, we will have the waning gibbous energy that moves us into the last quarter and then the waning crescent. So that last quarter moon is a really good time for reflection and releasing what no longer serves us, and also getting ready for new beginnings. So kind of letting go, taking responsibility for past actions, and moving forward with a clear vision. So then the waning crescent is a really good time for surrender, rest, and healing. So make sure you're keeping those moon energies in mind as we're moving through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter this week. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. All right, Aries, your overall, look at all the cards coming out here. A little too many to take there. Let's get an overall message card for Aries, April 20th through the 26th. Communication is key. All right, let's see what the Aries Collective has going on for this week. And Aries, I would like to say that since my readings are free to you, all I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. It really does help my channel, and it's super easy for you to do. Also, if we get to the end of this reading and you find that you like it, hit that button as well. That would be so great, and I would really appreciate that. So thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you for coming back and helping me build a community here. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate your time and hanging out with me. So thanks. Also, my weekly reminder for this week would be for you to get out into nature. So take a walk in the woods or find a beautiful park or an area that has a lovely view, and just take time to really stop and connect with the miracle of nature. Maybe study a tree or a plant longer than you normally would. And, just listen to the water. If you can get near the lake or an ocean or a stream, a creek, anything like that, just close your eyes and just really, really connect with nature. So that is just my friendly reminder for the week. All right, and on to the reading, Aries, April 20th through the 26th. All right, your overall energy, Aries, right now, present energy is that you're sitting in a place of kind of just satisfaction, maybe a little bit of indulging yourself this week. If I remember, you guys had an awesome week last week. Yeah, very, very positive. So you're really, you're just in a good energetic place here, and you're, you might do some things that to indulge yourself this week. Maybe, maybe a little spa visit, maybe some shopping, just something, just some change in your life, a little upgrade somewhere. This could be in, the way you feel, taking care of yourself and just indulging in life a little bit. So that's pretty awesome. Your current situation is the strength card. So, you're in a place where your inner strength is just really, really strong right now. You're indulging yourself, you're coming out of this really great energy period. And so communication is key as your overall message. You may need to communicate this sort of strength. And this could be in the way of, maybe helping a friend that doesn't have, excuse me, as much inner strength, that maybe they need to borrow a little bit of yours this week. A friend, family member, someone around you who just maybe needs to lean on you a little bit emotionally this week. I don't know why that's coming to mind, but that should be relevant for some of you out there. But so pay attention to that and those sorts of communications coming in. I'm going to take a drink anytime I feel my throat doing that when I'm doing a reading. It's really telling you need to speak up about something. So let's see what at the root of your situation is the Eight of Swords here. So some things coming in very, very quickly for you. And these could be communications just coming in, but something's coming in very quickly for you. Again, I'll remind you to speak up. The past that you're coming out of is kind of feeling like you against the world here. And all of a sudden we start getting surrounded with a lot of wands. So starting to feel that there's, something that you're very passionate about and something that, you have inner strength about, but it's something around you, something activity that's going on around you, which is something that you've put a lot of time and energy and knowledge into. And it's something that you really feel deeply and passionately about. What is on your mind this week is the Seven of Cups. I'm also starting to see here some repeating number patterns. We've got an 8 and an 8 here, and a 7 and a 7. So, and maybe that's just kind of where you are on that numerology cycle. And, those are kind of numbers that, sevens and eights are kind of getting closer to an ending. We've got a 10 here, or a nine. I'm sorry, a nine. But you're kind of like in the middle of a cycle where things are going very well. You've kind of made adjustments in your life, and you're just like you're heading towards something. You're heading towards like an upgrade. In your future this week is the Queen of Wands. So here we go with more wands. So lots of choices and things that are coming in. And it seems these are things of passion. There's these choices are on your mind. But at the root of this is, again, this is something around you or going on. This could be, for some of you, some hobby that you're very entrenched with. For some of you, this could be, if your work is your passion, this could be work related, that there's a lot of decisions and you're just having to use your inner strength, and but you're moving forward in kind of a maternal area when it comes to your passions, that you really do have an understanding of not only how it drives you, but also how it drives the people around you. So kind of more of a leadership situation there with that Queen of Wands. But I'm also feeling also this maternal energy with both of those sitting there right now. In your advice position, well, look, more wands. In your advice position is to celebrate whatever this is going on, and really just kind of enjoy the moment. Enjoy where you are right now. This energy, again, last week your energy was amazing, and you're just sitting in a great place right now. You might be making changes right now, and that's good, but it seems to be positive changes, and moving towards the celebration, which is really awesome. This could be, for some of you, you're planning a big celebration. You might have a big change coming up that could be at work, but this could also be that you're planning a wedding right now and you're feeling very passionate about that. You're making all those decisions and choices, which flowers, which colors, where's the venue, all the things that might go into planning a big celebration like that. For some of you, this could be, a baby shower that you're planning, maybe for a friend, all the decisions that go along with that. But it looks like, this is telling you to go ahead and celebrate. If you're celebrating a promotion, you might be celebrating someone's retirement, someone around you. But it looks like you're kind of in the middle of that planning and decision making thing, whether it be a celebration that you are a part of, or at least planning. And it could be both, of course. Okay, what is beyond your control this week is a tower. So we have a little bit of a disruption. And all I see here is that maybe when it comes to making these decisions and choices, that maybe, there's an area where you just don't get what you want. It's a little bit of a disruptor, a little bit of a disruption, but I don't even see it as something major. It's something that's like, maybe a little more on the disappointment side. And it could be that, again, with it's something with these decisions that are being made, that maybe you wanted this venue, but it fell through and you have to take another one. So it's that kind of disappointment. I don't even see it as anything super, super major. Secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Two of Pentacles. So, I this is probably, are you trying to avoid juggling all the things that you're doing, or is it your secret desire just to kind of juggle and stay on top of it? So, of course, when the card is in this position, this is kind of your big question of the week. So, are you avoiding that, or is it your secret desire to be that person who can juggle, not only getting things done, but also kind of the material realm of it, the financial part of it, all of those sorts of things. So that's your big question for the week. You need to be thinking about that. In your outcome position is, of course, the Page of Wands. So this is a new path for you. This is something you haven't really done before. And it could be, again, with this celebration. If you're planning a wedding, maybe you haven't done that before. It could be your wedding. It could be maybe a wedding for one of your kids, and you're involved in the planning for that, and you've never done that before. This is all, it's kind of a new thing for you, whatever this is going on. And this tower moment is here, but again, I don't see it. It is a disruption, but I almost see it like, oh, darn, okay, that's fine. Kind of that kind of disruption. Nothing major. What is hidden from you this week is the King of Wands. Look at all the wands on the table. Whatever this is, I mean, look, I can't even count them. There's so many wands here. Whatever, what is hidden from you is all of the knowledge. So you're kind of in the learning phase when it comes to this. We've got this page and this queen, but there's these wands all around you. It's something you're very excited and very, very passionate about, but you're in learning phase. This king is hidden from you because you don't quite know everything yet, and you may not until the end. But as you're doing whatever this planning, whatever this involves with all these decisions that you're making, please do keep in mind that communication is key this week. Communicate with the people around you. It could be with again, with decisions that you're making, if it comes to, you're making a decision with a venue or with florist or with food people or, all the different things that go on, make sure you're communicating your needs and wants very well to those people, but also with the other people that are involved, that you're just kind of on the same page with everyone, and maybe find a way to communicate all of those things at once so there's not a whole lot of back and forth. So that is very interesting, Aries. If you're comfortable, of course, leave me a comment. Let me know if any of you are planning anything big like this. It sounds like a lot of fun, and it sounds like something that you are really enjoying being involved with. So I love that for you. Let's get a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message here for Aries for April 20th through the 26th. All right, final message for Aries: tune out distractions. And we're going to grab another card from that same deck. I'm kind of looking for another oracle deck, and it hasn't found me yet. I feel like decks are like that. So if you know of one that you enjoy, let me know in the comments and I will check it out for sure. I do love this deck, but I feel like sometimes I feel like I want to reach for a different deck and I don't have it yet. All right. Another final message here for Aries: make a plan. So tune out distractions, make a plan, make sure you're communicating, make sure you're very focused. This to me just says very, very organized. And I do feel like with this King of Wands card right here, you're learning something in this process. And again, if you're planning something like a wedding, like a baby shower, maybe it's not the first time you're going to get to do this. So keep a notebook, take notes. You may have other kids that you're going to need that information for as well. So again, make sure you're making a plan, tune out those distractions, focus on what you're doing. Aries, I know your Aries can be very competitive. So if you're doing a thing like this, you're like, this is going to be the best party ever, and you're competitive with other people. And I just want to say, take a breath and relax. It's all going to be just fine. And again, this little tower moment that comes up, I just see kind of as a distraction, nothing super, super major. So, Aries, I really appreciate your time here with me today. I hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use. And again, if you are comfortable sharing, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you might be going through. If you are planning, I do read those comments and it helps me connect with you. And I really do appreciate that. I do post readings every week. So come back next week and we'll see if this message continues or if there's a completely new energy here for you. Also, again, if you like my channel and like my reading style, please hit that like button. It really does help, and I would really super appreciate that so much. So, and most importantly, it'll help you find me next week. So thank you so much, Aries, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.